Okay, let's have a look at this short video on the Milky Way galaxy and in particular Alpha Centauri, our nearest star neighbour. This is straight from Wikipedia. The Milky Way, or Milky Way galaxy, is the galaxy that includes the solar system. No, the solar system is just our sun and the planets that orbit it. And there are many, many other suns, as we'll see. All the suns are stars, and many or most stars have orbiting planets. So the name describes the galaxy's appearance from Earth. Supposedly it's a hazy band of light seen in the night sky, formed from stars in other arms of the galaxy, which are so far away that they can't be individually distinguished by our naked eye, just without using telescopes. So that's what it looks like typically in a night that's good for viewing. And it's a spiral galaxy. This is what it would look like from a distance. And you can see there that our sun, our star, the star nearest us, is on one of the arms of the spiral. It's called the Orion arm. And in our galaxy, believe it or not, there are between 100 and 400 billion stars. And a billion, remember, is 1,000 million. Countless number of stars, most of which need telescopes to get any clear view of. And here we have the 10 stars that are brightest in our sky. Of course, the sun is the brightest star to us. And the next nearest star, measured in light years, that's how they measure the star distance, or distance in space, that when the distance is very far. Our nearest neighbour is Alpha Centauri, which is 4.34 light years away. The brightest star in our night sky is Sirius, the belt of Orion. It appears like 4 stars slanting from top right down to bottom left. The belt of Orion point down at Sirius, the brightest star in our night sky, and that's 8.6 light years away. Then look at 2 of the stars that are in Orion, Rigel and Betelgeuse or Betelgeuse. Rigel is 860 light years away and Betelgeuse is 640. And you can see all the well-known stars there: Arcturus and Vega, Capella, Procyon. So there's our star. It's around, is it 90 million miles away from us? I'd need to check that. The next nearest is Alpha Centauri. And we can see that here also that Alpha Centauri in fact comprises 3 separate stars that appear to be a single star from our angle. Alpha Centauri is 4.396 light years away from us. And a light year is defined as the distance that light can travel in a year. And we know that light travels at a speed of 300,000 kilometers in a second. So when you do your sum there, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, 365 and a quarter days in a year, and we'd end up with 1 light year. In 1 light year, light would have travelled 9,467,280 million kilometers. And Alpha Centauri is 4.396 times that, because it's 4.396 light years away, giving us a crazy figure of 41,618,162,880,000 kilometers away from us. Now, the fastest spacecraft so far built. It's a thing called the Parker Solar Probe. It travels around the sun doing research. It has a speed of 690,000 kilometers in an hour. And it would do your sums if you divide 690,000 kilometers into that big figure we saw a moment ago. That one there. It would take 6,880 years to reach Alpha Centauri. You probably know that Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 have left the solar system and is in what's called interstellar space, the space between stars. And it's just left a few years. And all it's doing is, spanning, going out into this deep space at not that speed, a slower speed than that. But if it were going at a much faster speed, it would still take that long to reach Alpha Centauri. As I said earlier, Alpha Centauri is actually a triple star system, but it appears in the sky as a single light. And it's made up of Alpha Centauri A, which is Rigel Centaurus, Alpha Centauri, or Centauri B, which is called Ptolemy, and the dwarf star that makes up the third part, that's Proxima Centauri, and actually that's nearest of the three, but invisible to the naked eye because it's too small. So that's the idea there. Look, when we look at the sky and we see Alpha Centauri, we're actually seeing the two of those there. Alpha Centauri, that's like our sun, and Alpha Centauri B, Ptolemy, which is what's called an orange dwarf star, and Proxima Centauri, Proxima for close to, a red dwarf star. There's our sum there with our calculator getting that crazy 41,618,162,880,000 kilometers away from Alpha Centauri, and that's the nearest one. And that's the model of the Parker Solar Probe. You can see its speed there, 690,000 kilometers per hour, and it gets as close as nearly 7 million kilometers close to the sun, bearing in mind how far the sun is away. As I said, something like 90 million kilometers away. And this fellow here, the Parker Solar Probe, circumnavigates or rotates around the sun at an elliptical axis with a bit of help from Venus, believe it or not. Venus's gravity helps it to move. So there we have it. Hope you liked that, or found it informative at least.